Let's clear up a few misconceptions that may have come up during the open payments introduction. When I talk about open payments here, I specifically mean the open payment standards. I get that it might be a bit confusing if you're thinking of open payments as a general term that includes all the ideas from open banking. But to clear things up, when I say open payments, I'm talking about this particular standard. It allows third-party applications direct access to users' accounts through these specific API calls, as long as both of those accounts are at account servicing entities who have implemented the open payment standard. Another topic that can cause some confusion is how REST handles state. So you may be concerned that if REST doesn't keep state, how could a user access, for example, their transaction history? So let me clarify. Even in a system using REST, state is still kept. It's stored on the server in databases. All of your transactions are saved in the database. That state exists. It is there. What REST means by not keeping state is that state isn't stored within the communication channel. So each call from the client to the server is a standalone request. And the server doesn't remember that you asked something a moment ago or who you are unless you provide that context again. So you might ask for the full transaction history of user number 123, and you'd need to include all the necessary context, like the user ID and the access token to prove that you're authorized to access this data. The server will then look up that user ID in its database and send back that transaction history. But if you wanted to ask a follow-up question about the previous transaction, you'd have to provide all of that context again, because each interaction is independent. The server won't remember you from one call to the next. Now that we're clear on what open payments is, let's do a quick recap. To use open payments, your account holder must support it. When you create an account with such an account holder, they give you a wallet address, similar to how a bank would give you an account number when you sign up for a new account with them. This wallet address is a URL that applications can query. They then request information from that wallet address. It will tell them where the authorization server is for that account and where the resource server is for that account, so that you can make follow-up queries from there. This allows you to make requests for grants to gain access, and it allows you to make requests to create incoming payment resources on the recipient's account, as well as quote and outgoing payment resources on the sender's account. And once that is completed, it is a binding obligation for the account providers to then process and settle that payment.